Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I've been watching General Hospital for more years than I care to count, and just when I think the show can't pull my heart any harder, they go and drop something like this. It really gets to me, especially when it involves the kids. The latest spoilers have me shaking my head and smiling at the same time. Little Rocco Falconeri, that boy Finn Carr, plays so well, looks like he's thinking about running away from Port Charles. Not just to get away from trouble, but to protect his mom and dad, and maybe even punish himself a little for what he feels he's done. Bless his heart. That kind of heavy thinking from a teenager just breaks mine. In the weekly promo, I saw Lulu standing there looking at passports with 2 suitcases already packed by the door. She told Dante she's getting everything ready so she and Rocco can leave town if they have to. You could see the worry all over her face. But here's the twist that really got me, it seems. Rocco might have his own plan, one that goes way beyond what his parents are thinking. The boy was sitting in the living room just staring at his own passport like it was the answer to all his troubles. Lord, I felt for him. Dante, of course, isn't having any of it. He made it clear he's going to stop Lulu from taking off, no matter what. Those two are heading straight for another big blow-up, I can already tell. They've got that fire between them that never quite goes out, but what worries me most is Rocco. That kid's carrying around guilt that no boy his age should have to shoulder. If he decides to run away alone, well, it's going to tear his mom and daddy apart. I keep thinking how real this feels. As a father myself, I know what it's like when your child starts keeping secrets and trying to fix things on their own. It hurts. General Hospital is doing a fine job showing how one decision can ripple through a whole family. I can't wait to see what happens next, but I sure hope that boy doesn't walk out that door by himself. Some things a kid just shouldn't have to face alone. You know, I've been following this storyline with Rocco on General Hospital, and it's really starting to weigh on me. That poor boy has been in a bad way for weeks now. You can see it in his eyes. Every time the camera catches him, he's not the same carefree kid anymore. He's sunk deep into his own thoughts, walking around the house like a ghost, barely eating, barely sleeping. My heart just aches watching it. What's eating at him the most is that terrible night down at the dock. He can't stop replaying it in his head. The things he saw, the fury in Ross Cullum's eyes, and how close he came to actually ending a man's life. And not just any man, the director of the WSB. Lord have mercy. That's enough to shake any grown man, let alone a teenager. Rocco keeps thinking about what could have happened, and it's tormenting him day and night. On top of that, he's scared to death of Cullum. He knows what that man is capable of, and he's terrified that if the truth comes out, Cullum will come after him, or worse, go after Britt Westbourne. The boy loves that woman, and the thought of her getting hurt because of him is tearing him up inside. You can tell he's carrying guilt heavier than any kid his age should ever have to bear. Then there's Jason Morgan stepping forward and taking the blame for the shooting. At first, you might think that would ease the pressure, but for Rocco, it only made everything worse. Now his big brother Danny has basically lost his mom and dad because of Jason's confession, and Rocco feels like it's all because of him. Every time he looks at Danny, I bet that wave of guilt crashes over him again. He keeps thinking, if I hadn't been there, none of this would have happened. And if that wasn't enough, the boy overhears his parents arguing about how to handle the whole situation. Lulu and Dante going at it again, raising their voices, trying to figure out the best way to protect him. Rocco blames himself for every single fight. He feels like he's the reason their family is cracking apart right in front of him. That kind of pain sitting in a young heart, well, it just isn't right. So now he sits there in the living room, holding that passport in his hands, staring at it like it's some kind of magic ticket to make everything better. I keep wondering if that boy has already decided the best thing he can do is disappear from Port Charles for good, run away all by himself so he stops hurting the people he loves. Part of me understands why he'd think that way. When you're young and everything feels like your fault, running sometimes seems like the only answer. But as a father who's seen a few things in life, I worry something fierce about him. Kids shouldn't have to solve problems this big on their own. I sure hope Lulu and Dante notice what's happening before it's too late. This whole thing has me hooked on the edge of my seat, and I'm praying that boy finds his way back to his family instead of walking out that door alone. General Hospital sure knows how to pull at your heartstrings, doesn't it? You know, the longer this story goes on, the more it tugs at my heartstrings. That young Rocco Falconeri is really struggling, and it shows in every scene. He's just not thinking straight these days. His mind is so clouded with guilt and fear that clear thinking has gone right out the window. When he overheard Lulu saying they might have to pack up and leave Port Charles, something inside that boy clicked the wrong way. Instead of waiting to see what his parents decide, he's convinced himself that the best solution is to slip away all on his own. He thinks if he disappears, he won't cause his mom and dad any more pain or trouble. Bless his sweet, mixed-up heart, he actually believes running off alone is the brave, selfless thing to do for the people he loves. But let me tell you, that's the absolute last thing Lulu and Dante would ever want in this world. Those two have already been through so much, and the thought of their son vanishing without a word would destroy them. They'd search high and low, never giving up, because that boy means everything to them. Still, Rocco's sitting there, turning that passport over and over in his hands, thinking he's protecting his family by leaving. It's the kind of heartbreaking logic only a hurting teenager can come up with when he feels like the whole mess is his fault. What scares me most is how dangerous this runaway idea could become. A kid his age, stepping out into the big world all by himself. Goodness gracious, there are so many unknowns out there. He might meet kind strangers who try to help, but just as likely he'll cross paths with people who see a lost, scared boy as someone they can take advantage of. He's got no money, no real plan, and no idea how rough life on the road can be. And then there's Ross Cullum to worry about. If that dangerous man hears that Rocco has suddenly disappeared, he's sharp enough to start putting all the pieces together. He might realize the truth about who really shot him that night on the dock. Instead of fixing anything, this boy's plan could backfire badly and bring even more trouble crashing down on the whole family. What he thinks will protect everyone might end up hurting them worse than ever. From the General Hospital spoilers coming up for the week of May 18, it looks like poor Rocco just keeps sinking deeper into his pain. He's still carrying all those heavy lies, all the secrets, and the weight of the scandals he's been hiding for so long. You can see him breaking down little by little, quieter, sadder, more lost in his own thoughts. I'm really afraid he's heading toward another wrong decision, one that might be even harder to come back from. That boy is drowning in guilt over what he saw, what he almost did, and how it's affecting everyone around him. It's just too much for one young heart to handle alone. I tell you, watching this unfold has me sitting on the edge of my chair every single day. As a father who's raised kids of his own, I know how easy it is for young ones to believe they're doing the right thing when they're really just running from their hurt and confusion. Families are supposed to stick together through the hard times, not have one member try to carry it all by himself. I sure hope Lulu and Dante open their eyes soon and see what's going on with their son before he walks out that door. They need to pull him close, talk to him, and remind him that no mistake is bigger than their love for him. This whole storyline has me saying a little prayer for that family every night. General Hospital sure knows how to make you feel like these characters are real people living right down the street. I can't wait to see what happens, but I'm hoping with all my heart that Rocco finds his way home safe instead of running off into trouble. Some lessons in life are learned the hard way, but I sure pray this boy doesn't have to learn them all alone.